Okay, we're going to watch some Italian league today. And again, I think it's playoffs. It's Milano versus Lube. It's that little matchup. They've played a few times now. So you see a few videos of them. And it looked like Otsuka had a really, really good game. Okay, I'll let you guys see this real quick before the game. Otsuka, 15 for 29, 3 errors. I don't know. I think it's a great game. I think he had a great game, And we'll watch it. We'll see how he did with the rest of the stuff, He received 15 times, whatever, served, whatever. Who cares? We got Reggers also. We got Poro run the offense. We got Luaudi. And these guys are the ones that lost, actually. Bonifante running the offense for Lube. And then Chignese in the middle. Nikolov, I'm assuming on the outside because Lagumji is on the right side usually. Barlow, the 01 or 02, whatever. Should be a pretty good game. Looked like Lepke came in and just played back row maybe. We'll see. No matter what, it'll be a good game. Let me turn my brightness a little bit. Should be a good game, though. Let's check it out. Big old serve from Luaudi right to start. And, he likes to do the spin to float. And I think it's good to start out with the pure, like the big old spin, start out with some power. Just to keep them on their heels a bit, and then you can kind of surprise them later on, Oh, wait, I think I saw something on this earlier today. I saw some Jeffrey Jendrick thing. So this is this is a decent block move. He tries to shape it into the court just a little bit, but just not downward enough. But I saw a Jeffrey Jendrick clip. I'll talk about it while we keep going. So, like, as, let's say, a middle is closing to an outside, like the outside is hitting and the middle's trying to close to him and block in system. A problem is usually like you get tooled because you're like open to the hitter before you close. And so it's really important to, like I said, shape the ball and like finish your hands. I mean, you kind of see it a little bit here with how he kind of finishes his hands into the middle of the court. I've talked about this before, but Jeffrey Jendrick, if you follow him on Instagram, which you should if you're a middle, he puts out some good clips about just being a better blocker, being a better middle, So maybe there's gonna be a better example of what I'm talking about, but we'll see. We will see. I'm back to Luaudi now. Like, wow, that was a quick rotation. Wow. And now he does the reverse float. Is that really even possible? I don't think that's not possible. What's happening? Did he not start? Who started the serving? Give me a sec, guys, because this is going to mess with my head. Oh, so it was out. Was it a middle? Oh, it must have been that middle. Okay. Sorry, I was confused. Never mind. I guess forget what I was talking about. Otsuka. In system, ripping away at that cross. Very nice, very nice, very nice. I mean, I guess that could have been a decent example to see the middle there, but it didn't hit exactly where I wanted it to, Ooh. Little shove down action by Barlow. If you have that line, but it's kind of low, that's kind of the perfect time to do the throw down with two hands type of thing, or the lefty tip. That's probably the best time to do it because the line's open. Oh dang, just barely missed this here. But line's open, but you're not really able to swing at it because of the location of the ball. So yeah, just like you're going to get into a situation like that, so you might as well learn how to throw it down with two hands or tip it with your left hand or if you're a lefty, it should be pretty easy, but it depends. Depends on who you are. Dang, man. And like this is why it's important. I mean, there's a ton of reasons why, but this is a good example of why it's important to get your feet to the ball. Like he stops for timing reasons, they're in system. He's trying to go fast, but he gets his feet there. He jumps from there, and the ball's over here, and he has to reach over. And he's just so much lower than he would be if he was reaching straight up or straight over the net, you know? And so he just ends up taking away far less space than he would if he had gotten his feet there and was able to jump straight up and everything. They're just missing the swings right here. Who knows? I don't know. Honestly, this is the Lube Milano battle is a good battle for me because I really like both these teams. Phenomenal rosters. I think both of them have been doing some cool stuff. You know, they've had a few upsets. Like Lube won their in-season cup. And you know, that same principle of shaping your hands goes for a triple blocker who's doing like a semi-in system type of triple block. Or you can't be fully opened up to them, or else it's just going to bounce off your hands, and go out of bounds, you know. So look how he finishes a little bit. Maybe he could do it a little bit better, get around that ball, but I like the choice by Poro to go to the other way. Once he gets that ball, go to Otsuka right away, because they are not able to travel that distance as fast as the ball is, you know. But Lube, at least in the past 2 games, including this one, they've won in 4 sets. You know, they're dominating Milano in a sense. You know, they're doing pretty well against them, which, I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Because, Milano is a really good team, and they've been a really good team for the past few years because of Poro. They had Ishikawa last year. Regers is doing real well. Now they got Luaudi too. Like, this is a really nice swing here. The angle he's taking there. And look at, like, he really is trying to go extreme angle there. It's a good dig. It was a good swing, though. Really good swing. Good high swing. And again, if you're swinging on the pipes, try and swing deep into the court. It's going to up your chances of getting a kill, even if that block is up there, you know. Because even if that block is up there, if you're hitting hands, it's much better than hitting low on their arm or whatever. Marco stepping in, dishing that butter a little bit. I like it. Early call. Nikolov with a power tip to the 6. That was an interesting one. Nice. Nikolov's playing well. In this series, at least, he's playing really well. Taking some really nice out-of-system swings. His arm swing helps him out so much, but I feel like one of the things that he's struggled with is just a little bit of discipline, but now he's taking swings like this. Every single time he's swinging deep, you know, and he's not getting caught by the block anymore. You know, and it's a really hard thing to think about. But, like, you really do have to think about either going straight forward, with, like, that ball is going straight forward, or that ball is going upward as you're hitting, like, out of system like that. And this is I've said this before, this is random, but, like, approaching on this 60 route, or whatever you call, like, the back spike, like, going at this angle, I think is kind of genius, because his momentum is going forward, so if he lets it get in front of him, he can just blast it as hard as he wants here, but then it's easy for him to go crossbody, deep corner, bang. You know, like, it's a really nice swing. And sometimes you're not going to be able to do that. Maybe in an ideal situation, he does it a little bit at less of an angle there, but, like, you have to be okay with that, you know? Because if you do the opposite in an extreme sense, then you're kind of screwed. But if you do it like he just did right there, then you can take it wherever you want still. So, like, maybe just a little bit, even if it's not as extreme as he just did, but even just like a little bit of an angle might kind of help you swing wherever you want. You know, again, like this right here might be all the angle that you need. You know, like approaching from where he is right there, and then straight line right to that spot right behind him, boom. And like, because this ball's right in front of him at this point, and he just swings straight forward, bang, boom. Again, that back pipe, man, that 60 or whatever you might want to call it, but it's a nice run. And I would say if you see that player drifting, like he's jumping sideways like that, I would agree with Barlow drifting on his block as well. But I don't know. That might not be an always type of principle, like that might not be a do it in every single time type of thing, I can't tell. Really nice swing by Barlow there. Stays high. And he just got his feet there really well on that ball. I think that just was probably one of the biggest parts there. And I mean, I love the acceleration through this. He's waiting, and then he goes up, and as he's jumping, that's when he just truly explodes, and just takes a deep, great hand on that ball, takes a swing. Chinyese with the first one, bang, boom, bang, boom, bop. Oh shoot! I just hit the 5. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, we're chilling. Never mind. And we'll service back. Service back for the middle. Oh, for Chinyese. Really nice grab. Like the flick downwards, once it hits your hands, just flick down on a tip at least. Bang. And this is some of the patience that I'm talking about when you're trying to hit line as a righty here. You got to wait until that ball gets to you. You got to wait until that ball gets over there. Look at how he just waits. It's such a split second thing too. Like, he could hit it here, he could hit it earlier, he could hit it here, but he's waiting until it travels from this lane to this lane. That's all it is. Bang. It's just this different, this far. Yeah. Just a little bit of patience. And if you wait and then still try to take it across, you let it get really far outside here, then you're kind of trying to hook shot it a bit, like you're trying to get around that ball, and it's just an awkward swing. Oh, no way. So Nikolov goes up for the triple block, gets the triple block, and then he's late there. And I guess it worked out. Yeesh. This is a bloodbath right now. 24-14 for Lube. They are just taking care of business right now. Look at that. I love this block move though. Drift over to him just a little bit, You see where that ball is. You get your feet there. It's an athletic move. Hands to the ball. Look at how he's just reaching forward right to that ball, and then presses a little bit extra right as it's about to hit him. Good ball. But then good choice by Poro on that soft. So it's soft block, reuse. Boom, go the other way. Because this is what the middle does a lot. Certain middles don't do this, but a lot of the time the middle just kind of hedges his bets, and he just stays here. This middle should try and get to the middle. No matter what, he's going to have to cover that space, though. So, like, if you can do it quick, he's still going to have to cover that space, even if he does do it before you set it, So it's still tiring for him. Don't let him get away with the lazy-ish move, And again, right here, like, triple block over here. Boom, he waits. Look at where the middle is. He's just chilling. He's chilling, and then the set's going up right now, and he's still nowhere near the middle of the court. And then he's late over here. Not as big as he can possibly be. Nikolov got blasted in the head there. This is such a difficult serve right there. Because, like, really, whose seam is that? In all honesty, whose seam is that? It's a really tough ball to pass. It really is. Gia steps in past that puppy. Let's see. Whoa. Good job by this middle just to keep that ball alive, I guess, but dang, that's a weird one. And you know, if you're playing against a player who likes to joust a lot, smart by the middle just to get over top of it, keep that ball in play. And also, is hitting their arm illegal? Because I really don't know. Because, like, if it's not, I'm going to start doing that on jousts. I'm just going to start swiping people's arms instead of the ball, you know? Or, like, with my left hand, pushing their hands out of the way and then dunking it or something, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's legal. I would assume it's not, but who knows? It's a nice thumb down swing there. Bang. Sharp cross. Sharp cross is a beautiful thing, man. It really is. And they subbed Luauti out here. Let's see. Over the top. That doesn't... Not the cleanest kill, but hey, it's still a kill. You know, this is why you can't doubt your setter at all. You have to have full confidence as you're approaching from any position. You have to be fully confident that that dude's going to set you. You know, like, you have to be delusional at a certain point to always believe that he's going to set you. But, like, I would much rather go as hard as possible at every single approach than even get caught once not approaching to my fullest, you know? Like, you have to be delusional and be like, dude, I'm going to go as hard as I possibly can every single time I'm going up the swing. You know? I don't know. Because, like, also, if you do that every time, you're going to be jumping higher than you're going to be jumping higher consistently, you know? Like, it's just better. It's just going to be better. This right here is why you go to the other guy off of a reuse, you know? Because look at where they are. They're both standing there. He would be alone. Then he goes up here. They have a standing block. And Otsuka's kind of at a disadvantage too because he has to transition straight backward off the net. And then he's like taking kind of a half approach. And obviously Regers is also would be taking a half approach because he's kind of covering and whatever. But he would be taking a half approach against a single block. And then Otsuka's taking a half approach against a double block. Great choice by that setter. Love it. This is it right here, man. You're right in front of this guy. If you can try and get him to jump, then he can no longer play defense on this guy. He can no longer block this guy. You know, he's done for. Bang. And it's a free net most of the time. Especially if that blocker like fully jumps on you and it's in system. Yeah, no, he's not going to be able to get up there. Good swing by number 12 there. Just stuff it down there. Quick angles. Quick angles as middle is probably your biggest friend, I guess. I don't even know. Oh. Whoa. Dude, one of the out-of-system D-balls that are just, like, insanely tight to the net are some of the most difficult sets to block, I swear. I have no idea why, but they just have so much forward momentum, and it's just them jumping as hard as they can and just swinging with no remorse. This is a pretty good example of what I'm talking about. Okay, in system, he's late a bit. He's jumping from here. He's jumping towards him. Look at how he's facing him now. But then as that ball's about to hit him, he is now facing the net completely parallel, and then he finishes his hands downward and into the court. See that right here? Boom. Yeah, and he's no longer, like, at that point of when he's getting hit, let's see, he's no longer facing him. He's facing the middle of the court, you know? And it's not too much to where he is opening up, you know, because he still has to press that left hand a little extra to take that sharp cross away, you know, which is really nice right there, which is probably what actually got him the block, is pressing that left hand a little extra. But you still have to finish both hands to the middle of the court, you know. Stuffing it through the gap there. Quick swings. Quick swing by the middle. You know, I like it. Oh yeah, the fake. Oh, I'm barely gonna jump here. Nice, it's a good spin. There's this middle. What's his name? Schnitzer. Schnitzer. I like him. He's good middle. He's slightly undersized, I'd say. He's probably like, I don't know, maybe 6'6", which is crazy to be undersized. You know, he's a pretty big guy. But I would assume that he's maybe 6'7", 6'6", something like that. But yeah, he's undersized. But I mean, he really does well. I really like his game. I think he closes the blocks real well. I think he, for for how small he is compared to the other guys, I think he's a very good attacker. Good call by Butalo. Okay, that's why. Yeah, so Lagumjia swings high. And go to the other guy. But, like, this is what a middle should be doing right here. He should be hustling. He should be sprinting, trying to get back. You know, it's tough because that ball's super high. But, you know, it's nice. You know, maybe at a certain point on a reuse, it's smarter to put that ball low so that this block can't really do anything. But also putting the ball low gives the setter way less time to make a decision and put his hands on the ball. So, yeah, I don't know. If it's an easy one, maybe go quick. If it's a more difficult one, maybe don't go as quick. You know, like, I don't know. Yeah, like if it's really fast on you, just put it high. I guess I don't even know. But if it's like a quick one that's kind of just right on your, or sorry, a slightly slower one that's just right in your hands, then maybe just throw it to the setter so that he can set the other guy. I don't know. I don't even know. It's a nice swing. Nice swing. And that's tough. I mean, I don't think Otsuka is the biggest blocker, you know. He does his job. He takes away as much space as he can there, but I think Lagumjia just extends his arm, reaches high, takes it sharp, you know. Not much you can really do right there. Not much you can do right here either. If Nikolov's reaching high with his swing too. He's got some long arms too. Look at how he's fully extended there. Boom, contact high. Swing to the deep corner off the hands there. It's off the hands. Is that over? Or sorry, not over. Is that double contact? Who hit it? Okay, just the libero. Otsuka, you dog. You dog, you. Oh. Yeah, I guess that's the only problem with Otsuka right now is he's kind of a blocking liability, in a sense. You know, I think he's a very disciplined blocker, and so that kind of makes up for it. But he's just smaller. You know, that's just the reality of the situation. He's just a smaller blocker, and against a player like Lagumjia, that's kind of tough. This is such a good, quick decision, fast twitch jump by him. This is perfect. He's disciplined. He's ready to split step and go to the pins. They run the pipe, so he makes some really quick steps, gets his arms up over the net. Boom, presses early. Right as he's jumping, he's pressing over the net. It's beautiful, man. Hey, big ol' serve from Poro. Let's go, big dog. Yeah, I love Poro, man. I'm a big fan. I hope someday I can play with Poro, but I don't know. I gotta work my butt off, which I am open to. So we'll see. Nikolov swings out there. That'll happen. Yeah, and like right here, Poro is cooking with his serve. He's hit that seam maybe 3 times in a row now. He's gotten 2 aces in there. Why would he change anything at all? He's not changing anything. He's not trying to serve harder. He's just continuing to rip that same serve. Now Regers takes a crazy angle. Interesting, man. Really nice. Let's see what he does here again. Probably same thing. Rips again. Like he's just ripping his serve. This is such a relaxed arm swing by him. And you know, like I've noticed before in my own arm swing, if I'm like really just tense and trying to hit the ball as hard as I can, then I'm no longer as whippy, and there's no longer as much like of this right here when look how his arm goes here from here it's not as much there. Like, I don't have as much separation or mobility here when I'm just flexed, and so then I don't hit the ball as hard, so just a relaxed arm is a fast arm. Whoa, what happened here? Oh, gosh. Communication, man. Looks like Lube has some communication problems sometimes. That stinks. That's not fun. I think Nikolov is someone who has a really relaxed arm swing. Really loose, whippy. Yeah, it's very impressive. Wow. I love this guy, man. Schnitzer. He's got ups. Wow, that's a big vertical. Wow. Good for him. And he just blasts that right on the line there. Wow, let's see this one more time. Dang, he is up there, bro. Creating some space over there. Getting right to the right of Chinyese, just blasting that ball. That's a really nice ball. Good play, and then he goes back to serve. It's a decent serve. Gets an overpass. Let's go. Come on, Schnitzer. Cook, buddy. Cook, my friend. I like Schnitzer. What a dog. What a dog. Yeah. That's the danger of trying to just go slow right by somebody. You want to get by them as quick as possible so they can't make an adjustment. But, I don't know. It's just a weird one. You can't really be too mad. Ooh, a little shoulder. Is that Lepke? Lepke comes in for a few plays. And then he comes in and does this right off the bat. Oh, no, he doesn't get it, though. He doesn't hit it, though. And, yeah, I mean, I think it's, your error rate of this set is going to be higher because you're jump setting and trying to do something fancy. So I'd say it's smart to try and go towards the front row hitter, because then if you miss it tight, they can still block. If you miss it off the net, they can still adjust to it. If you miss one way or the other, it's easier for the front row player to do something with it. But if that back row guy is jumping 1 foot, you can't really do anything except for tip. Yeah, so I guess that's what I would say. And yeah, this is nice, man. Just a little pop, just a little float ski in the seam too. It's tough, just confuses them, especially after they've had a few communication issues. They've had a few problems there. Now we got Lepke front row. Let's see what happens now. We got 23-17 though. Big old swing from Reggers. Huge, man. Bad read by Lagumgia. Oof. Oh, wow. Alliance Milano getting some really nice service pressure. Started by Poro. Continued by everyone else. Service pressure, man. Service pressure is such a big, important aspect of winning games. Not letting a team get comfortable, not letting them be in system. Increasing your odds of getting a block, increasing your odds of getting a dig because they're taking a worse swing. It's all about percentages. It's all about pressure. That's what it's all about. It's all about pressure. Let's see if Lube starts putting more service pressure on, or if Milano continues to do it. Him taking this ball out of the 6 is pressure. It's putting pressure on these guys to either do this or go out and block there. Either block there or block there. It's pressure to make a decision. It's a really good touch though. Puts it on. I love how Reggers still puts this on Poro's head here, because putting it on his head. Look at what the. Oh shoot! Well, obviously they're messed up with their blocking scheme, anyways. But if it was just out of system, then they could have gotten a triple block up there. But instead, it's in system because Reggers gets that dig right on Poro's head. Oof. Let's see what he does here. Love that. Gosh, Poro's a dog. Poro runs that offense, man. It's beautiful to see. It really is. Nice pass by Nikolov. Over the top. Go back to the bread and butter. Hit that pipe. Get the over top of the ball, you know. It's a beautiful run. The pipe is such a beautiful aspect of the game. Again, hits the pipe here. You know, because these guys, they leave. Look at Barlow here. He's out of here. He's leaving. He's gone. Lagumgia too. He's gone. He's out of here. Then the pipe's up there. Oh shoot. And then neither one of them's up. Neither one of them's helping him out. Decent pass. Let's see. Off the side of the block there. Puts it on his head, lets that middle be an option. Boom. Transition middle, man. It's a beautiful thing. Like that work from Chinyese to get all the way around too. He just blocked there, but yeah, he was able to take that approach and get around there. Beautiful, man. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, that stinks. Okay. Barlow, out of bounds. Let's see. Nobody's putting real service pressure on right now. I wouldn't say. Oh, Reggers is back to serve though. That's some service pressure, that's for sure. Gosh, that's a nice serve, man. And his serve again is unique. You know, it's coming from the 5-6 seam, I guess. Coming from a real high point. Look at that, and then just ripping. Just a ripper. I think Lagumgia might have missed that there. Yeah, I think he might have missed it, but I can't tell. I cannot tell. Yeah, he got his finger, I guess. Jeez. Sheesh. Domenica Porteci Almeria Civitanova. I speak Italian. I'm actually learning Italian. So, yeah, boom. But, yeah, I definitely didn't pronounce that right. Let's see, Lagumgia, what you doing here? It's a good serve. His serve from 1-1 is really nice because look at how much cut it has on it. It's really nice. It's a good serve. Ooh, wow. You know, I don't mind the choice by Poro. It's just the decision for all three blockers to be up there is interesting. You know, I guess I probably wouldn't have expected a triple block to be up there with Poro, you know, but that's where vision comes in. Because if you see three blockers up there, you kind of have to make some sort of decision. It's gonna avoid you getting blocked, you know. And again, don't hesitate on routes. Even if it seems like you're gonna jump on top of somebody, just go hard, take the risk, and yeah, hope that they get out of the way. Because most of the time they do. Most of the time they get out of the way. And it's definitely off the hands, right? Oh shoot, that was out. Okay. Let's see. Beautiful. Love it. Middle. Again, like I feel like when you set the middle in system should be, well, first of all, when you want to give your middle as much as you can, but like later in a game when it's like, okay, I've set everyone already, like they're kind of just even here, whatever. If your pass gets moved backwards and it's like, okay, this guy's going into the gap, that's when you hit him. Like if your pass gets moved around a certain way so that route that they're running now would be in between some guys or something like that, like it's gotta be beautiful, you know. Like in chess, if you're, you know, like, okay, you're putting pressure on a certain piece, you know, and then you expect that guy to do something, whatever. Like, you got to understand what the blockers are going to be doing based on the routes that you're running and where the pass is, you know. Because, I mean, my blocking decisions are usually decided by location of the pass and what routes. I guess also, like, who, but that's kind of more of a psychology question, you know. So let's just stick with location of the pass and routes that they're running. Nice tip. So like, let's see if I can give you a good example here. Maybe it's a perfect pass, decent pass. Yeah. Okay. Pass is off here. Okay. Both of these guys are gone because they don't need help on the middle or the pipe. Okay, because it's a 2 pass. There's no longer these 2 options. These guys are gone. This guy's chilling in the middle. So now look at how he changes his posture. You know, he makes the decision to say, okay, these guys are no longer an option. I'm going to hit a split step and get out there. Boom, big old block. No. Snuck it through. But, yeah. You know what I mean. Yeah, so, like, I guess you just have to understand the action and the reaction. Like, the actions of where you run your routes and where the pass is. Tisk, my friend. Again, even if Chinyese is staying up there, I would have set this guy still because he's right in between the routes. You know, like action, reaction. Is he going to front him all the way or what? You know, boom. Chinyese obviously completely left. Thought he could outsmart Poro. You can't. But like the action of where you run your routes and the action of where that pass is demands a reaction from the blockers. Okay, so where the pass is, the action of where the pass is demands him to make a decision. Okay, what am I going to do? What action am I going to take? And he obviously stays there. And so now he understands, okay, he's staying in the middle. Boom, I can hit my middle right now. Boom, right in the gap. Ka-chow. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. I don't know, I'm definitely doing a terrible job at explaining what I'm trying to say, but it makes sense in my mind, I guess. I don't know. Big spin serve. Nice little thumb down on the serve. Don't mind it. And yeah, if you're hitting the D ball, you know, back row right side, learn how to hit that line. I think that's so important. Learn how to hit sharp down that line. Like, see where Lagumjia hits this right now. He's literally hitting almost right on the line. Like, this is the small lane that you should be trying to hit to every single time. Like, the last few feet of that line. You know, not inside, because, you know, if you can consistently hit sharp down that line, which is easier when you're back row, in my opinion. I don't know. You're gonna get a lot of kills because that blocker, those blockers usually aren't gonna take it completely. You know, you're usually gonna still have a sliver. You know, like even if it is just this much, if you're going for this much space right here, yeah, he obviously has it right here. You know, if you're going for this much space. But like even if he starts to take it a little bit, it just hits off the side of the block and it's a tool. You know, obviously he swings to the 6 there and gets blocked, which I tell you guys, do not do. Do not swing to the 6. That is not a good idea. Oh my gosh. This might be one of the best swings I've ever seen. And, yeah, so like, I don't know, a ball like this where the pass gets moved backward like this, he's no longer going to run this behind because it's just too little space. Like there's just it's a little bit muddy, you know? So he says in front, but then they still run the tempo because they're both on the same page, you know? They talk about it, clear communication, in front of you, boom, tempo, kablam. Like, honestly, you need to learn how to speak in clear ways on the volleyball court. You know, like high in front, high tempo, or sorry, not high tempo, that would be confusing. Tempo in front, or, you know, like a few words. You gotta speak a few words at a time sometimes. High is fine. Fast, whatever you might be hitting, whatever. You know, that, yeah, usually is fine, but right in the nuts, I think. But like there's certain situations where you're gonna need to be far more clear in what you're trying to say. This right here is what I'm talking about, because he has that sliver of line. You know, he has that sliver. Obviously, it would go into him, and it would challenge his defense, of course. But he tries to go line, but instead it's aiming right here. You know, this is technically line. Okay, this right here is technically line. Maybe all of this might be line. You know, but if you can learn how to hit within this, he's going to sneak by the block, get tools, and get a ton of kills. The action and the reaction of the block. I love it. Sneaking it through that little gap. And look at how much he presses here. Look at that middle. Look at how much he's pressing. Compared to him, too, look at how much he's pressing. And boom. And he just finishes right into the middle of the court there. Beautiful block. Just beautiful block. Oh no, Wi-Fi. It's freaking out. Oh no. Don't freak out on me, Wi-Fi. Please, please, I'm begging you. Don't freak out on me. Look at that swing got you there. And that's for the third set. All right, we got one more set. Hopefully the Wi-Fi doesn't give up on me right now, but we'll find out. We'll find out soon enough. Boom, let's see. In system. And I mean, same deal goes for outsides too. Like, you got to learn how to hit that sliver of line, which I truly do struggle with. I'll be completely frank with y'all. I struggle with hitting that sharp line. You know, I can hit in that general area, but I can't hit that sharp line, you know. And like, if I want to score down the line more often, then I'm going to need to be able to hit that sharp line. On the right side, I think it's easy because it's just, boom, thumb down, ka-chow. But like that crossbody, I don't think I have enough shoulder mobility yet, or technique. Nice tip by. And again, I mean, I've told you guys, if you're going to try and tip, get it on somebody's forearms, not their hands. I mean, like, Lagumjia can't do anything. When it's on his arm, on the side of his arm like that, what the heck is he going to do? It's just going to roll off his body and nobody's going to dig that. Not a chance. So, yeah. Yep. Why not? Ooh. It gets messy. Gets a little bit messy. But hey, stuff happens. Gotta move on. Gotta move on after a play like that. Lagumjia, big old serve. Dime from Luauti. It's a really nice set by Poro. Just slight little tap. You just gotta let it kind of bounce off your hands on those balls. You know, I was watching a video of the Checo, one hand setting in warm-ups a bit, and he honestly like doesn't throw it like or flick it that much. He just kind of lets it hit his hand and bounce off of it a little bit. And you gotta experiment with that. You gotta find a feel for it. You gotta learn how to do that, of course. But like, I assume based on the few videos that I've seen in that play right there that I've seen of Poro, where he just took that one ball one-handed. That's such a nice set though. Yeah, just kind of have your hand there, have your hand kind of be rigid, I guess. Not stone-like, but just a little bit of pop in it, you know, like not fully relaxed, not fully gripped where it's just gonna, but just a little bit of, you know, just a little half tension, you know, it's gonna be good. Excuse me. Pro, let's see what you do. Boom. Reggers is cooking too. I'll admit it. He always cooks though. I'm really not sure what Lube's doing to beat Milano right now either. I feel like they're just, I don't know, I mean, maybe they're getting touches, I don't even know. Maybe they're getting soft touches that turn into kills and digs and stuff, I don't know. Maybe it's service pressure? I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, both teams are phenomenally talented, but, I mean, it's just, they're probably going to win by 2 points, you know, whatever it is. Poro's destroying that seam right now. and I love it. Going after that same seam that he's gotten 2 aces in before previously. So now he has 3 aces in that single seam. And I assume he's going to go right back at it. Yep. And you know, as Otsuka here, I would move over just a little bit more. Because this ball, when it gets moved backwards like this, a lot of people run a fast tempo like that, you know. Like it's a pretty fast tempo for Lagom Gia there. Like Perugia. You know, Perugia runs a really fast tempo when that ball gets moved slightly backward. With Bentara and Gianelli. They run a real fast tempo when it gets moved backward like that. Dang, dude. Wow. This is such an interesting ball, too. You know, like, I feel like it's so necessary for regulars to just press that right hand extra instead of reaching high on it, because if he gets around that ball better and reaches that right arm forward a little bit extra, then he's going to get that block there. But Nikolov's able to get away with it and swing and tool him, use that block a bit. Nice swing by Luauti there. Nope, that one's gone. Yeah, maybe Milano's just missing some serves. I don't know. Chinyese, he's missing serves too, though. Let's see, Regulars is probably going to get a few. No. Uh-oh. Let's see what happens. They're out of the system. Again, same thing right here. At least it seems like the same thing, probably. Yeah, just he doesn't get that right hand around that ball, you know, and then it just gives him the opportunity to tool him. Brutal. All right, 12-11 in the fourth. Missing serves, missing lots of serves right now. That'll happen in the third and fourth, probably. Sometimes in the fifth, too, which sucks. This is honestly, like, having enough patience to wait until it's going to be in their hands, like, at the same time, like, simultaneously, so that you can swipe immediately, is kind of nice. Like, it's kind of a difficult thing to do, but it really does kind of give you the opportunity to swipe and use their hands really well. Like, you have to wait until the ball gets to a point where both of you guys can touch it, and then you just swipe it off quick, you know? Like, instead of pressing it in, like bringing it from here to here, pressing it into the block, and then swiping, you know, which obviously also has its time, you know, but like that one there, right there, where it was kind of like a ball that's tight enough to where it's going to be in their both their hands, and like, I mean, obviously he kind of sold out and was like, all right, I'm going to swipe, but I don't know. Let's see. No, okay. Ooh, yeah, and this is the third time that Reggers and Poro have gotten tooled in this fashion, where they're just not getting their arm around that ball. Like, say the ball's here, this is my right hand, you know, you can assume where my left would be. If I'm here, I'm going to get tooled a ton. But if I get my hand around it, I'm blocking that right into the middle of the court. You know, it's just a small difference. And also, like, I got to be here instead of here, because then it gives him space to make that decision and go sideways. And if I don't give him that space, then he can't. Like, it's so much harder for him to get the angle. Like, the angle would have to be more extreme. Sorry, that's a tangent. It's just something that I have to focus on too. So I'm reminding myself on that too, because I struggle sometimes getting my left hand around the ball enough. What's his face? What's his face here? What's his name? I forget. We're freaking out. Let's see if it was up. Let's see. Okay, yeah, definitely not. Yeah, definitely not. It hit the ground. Definitely hit the ground. Yeah, not a chance. Yeah, they're freaking out. Yeah, it makes sense, I guess. Let's see. We got 16-17 in the fourth and final. Oh, yeah. Really nice dunk. Look how he gets on top of the ball here. He jumps as high as he can, reaches as high as he can, gets on top of the ball so he has space from the net. Boom. Straight down. And, like, it's going to be tough for you to be doing an aggressive set or dump or whatever if you're contacting it at a hitched point. You know, like, it's going to be so much, you're going to have so much more room if you're reached high and then you get on top of that ball. You know, it's the same principle as a hitter wanting to jump higher, because, like, if they're going for that sharp cross but they're contacting it here, it's going to be such a small window. But if you're up here, you have so much more space from the net, and it's just, like, easier. You know, same type of thing with that setter down. 17-19 here. Otsuka, decent pass. Louty with a nice one. Brings himself in there. Wow. And, like, it's really nice. I like the angle at which he approaches here. Gets outside the court quick, swiftly, approaches from there, goes into the court, momentum into the court, boom, boom. Ball's kind of right on top of him, but he's still able to reach high and take a swing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's a close game. I mean, that first set was kind of a... Oh, wait, what was it? The first set or the second set? Whatever. Yeah, but still, I mean, the third and fourth sets have been pretty nice. Wi-Fi's getting weird on me right now. Let's see this one more time. And again, same thing. Like, look at where he approaches from here. He approaches from outside the court so well. The ball is inside, which is nice. And, yeah, he just lasts across because it's right in front of him. You know, like, his momentum's going there. He just swings hard. It's easy. His momentum's all bringing him into the court instead of away from the court. You know, if you're falling away from the ball, it's going to be really hard for you to hit it well, you know, and to have range too. So, like, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty like it goes for the same as out of system and in system too. Like, you want to be jumping towards the ball as much as you can. You know, I don't know. This is off of Reggers or Poro. I don't know. Otsuka goes up and stays aggressive. Takes it to a deep corner. Beautiful. What a swing by him. 21-21. Let's see. We got 4 more points to earn for Lube. Nikolov. Perfect pass. Goes outside to him. Over the top of Poro. Yeah. Wow. Oh, wow. And I think Poro tries to get that right hand around the ball and snatch it in, but Nikolov just doesn't bring it down to him. Doesn't bring it down to Poro's level, I guess you could say, because he's just higher than him. Come on, Wi-Fi. We got a few more points. Stay with me, folks. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're back. Almost. Let's see. Float serve. Stick with me. All right, we got a few more points. Just stick with me, folks. Again, same thing. He calls it high in front of him there. He gets blocked this time, though. Look at how much they finish their hands there. You know, it's such a good block. And it's so aggressive, too. Like, let's watch it in full motion. Look at how much he just finishes that ball. Just really nice. And I want to see something real quick, too. I want to see if it's... And there's a slight difference between Nikolov's and Chinyese's here, and I think Chinyese's is better. So Nikolov is kind of like limited a little bit. I guess they both kind of like separate their torso from their shoulders. You know, like, you don't want your body to be a board and you can only move in this way. You want to have like your shoulders be free from it, you know, so you can press with your shoulders. But yeah, I mean, like, you want to just be able to finish your arms wherever you can. Obviously, you have to jump high enough to be able to do that, but I think it's important. I think it's good. I think it helps you get extra blocks. Otsuka trying to save the game. Poro. This is honestly a huge miss because Poro's gotten a few aces. He's gotten at least 3, I know that. And he's been putting pressure on them the whole game so far. Let's see, Lagumgia blasts the deep serve here. It's a really nice serve. Catches him high, puts him out of system. Let's see, Otsuka. Really nice reuse. And again, look at how he tips it when he's trying to reuse here. He tips it towards where everyone is. Okay. And then they're able to. Oh, slight misconnection here. It's still aggressive though. He's still putting pressure on them, and they're really out of system now. Wow, good for this libero to keep this ball alive here. That's a good swing by Nikolov. Libero just barely gets his hand on that ball. And Loudy swings into the net. You know, and let me see, what should he do here? What should he do? Ball's tough. You know, obviously maybe try and go for that deep corner there. Maybe that's where he should be aiming. He obviously brings it too low. But yeah, I mean, maybe even tipping short right here if possible here. Even if it turns into a free ball, at least the play's still alive. But I respect him going for it. It's a good game, yo. Good game. Thanks for watching, guys.